Hey there, welcome to Lesson 2, where we'll be modeling the scene and the elements contained on it. We are going to create a sort of plane and a sort of rotating disc and the pendulum. So let's start modeling. As always, the first thing we are going to do is insert a primitive, this time a cylinder. Well, to display the polygons making up the primitive, go to Display at the top and select Gorot Shading. Let's rotate the cylinder 90 degrees. As you know, if we press Shift while rotating, we'll rotate the shape 10 degrees each time. Okay? Leave it at 90 degrees. Now we're going to make the cylinder bigger. Then click on here to open the parameters panel and set radius to 500. To change the width, we can change height to 50, for instance. Regarding the rotation segments, we could increase them in order to improve the resolution. For example, 75. Also here you can modify the number of height segments. Set it to 1 for the moment. Click on the Cap tab and check the fillet option, which is nothing but a bevel. Okay, right after checking the box, the edge is divided into different sections. We can modify the fillet by changing the number of segments or the radius. So, set the radius to 12 and choose 7 segments, something like this. Okay, I'm going to name this element as Disc 1. The next element we'll be creating is the pendulum, so go to Primitives and select a cone. It automatically appears in the middle of the scene. We need to move it to see it clearly. And here on the right, within the Object tab, we can see the object's properties, like the number of segments that can be modified as we did with the disc. Remember that the higher the number of segment is, the higher the object's resolution will be. So set rotation segment to 60, but feel free to adjust this freely. Regarding the beveling, we can work it in different ways. Go to the Cap tab. Once there, you'll find different options like bottom and the caps. This time we'll ignore the top one. So if we check bottom, we'll see that a beveling is created but quite exaggerated. So tweak the parameters to get something similar to this bevel. Like this, okay? Something like this. You can use 7 and 5 to get this result. We can also play around with the cap segments, which affect the base of the cone. So let's set it at 8. What interests us the most is the number of fillet segments, with which we can control the number of subdivisions formed in the edge. Set it to 8 as well and keep these parameters. After that, go to the top of the cone. As you can see, it's pointed, right? We don't want it to be pointed, but flat. Why? Because we'll include a sort of thread on which the pendulum will hold. Go now to Object and change the top radius value to 1. What happened? Zoom in and you'll see that the top of the cone is now flat. Can you see it? However, we cannot see it from afar, okay? After, make it editable with the shortcut C or clicking here. Okay. Then activate the polygon mode and select this circle in the center. This area. Like that. Now click on this arrow, the white one, and drag to stretch the top and create the thread. Make it considerably long. Don't worry because we'll be able to modify it afterward. Something like that. Okay, select the cone and name it. And now we're going to place it in the central part. So change the position of the x-axis and insert 0. Press Enter in its place in the center. Then drag it upwards between the center of the cone and the edge. Okay, now we're going to create another cube with the same shape that this cone. Let me show you how. Insert a cube and go to the right view. For example, or a front view would be also fine. I've selected the right one. Then we want this cone to be inside the cube. So scale the cube up and adjust it. Something like that. Make it editable. OK. Select the point mode and click on Leave Selection. That's it. To select the cube's point. In the panel on the right, uncheck the option Only Select Visible Elements in order to select those hidden points of behind. So while holding Shift, select the superior points. Then press T to scale these points. Something like this. Guys, what we are doing now is the mold where the pendulum will go through. That's why it has the same shape and it's bigger. I'm going to slightly move the cube upwards. So this result should be similar to this one. Kind of. It's quite simple. Now I'm going to select the perspective view. What we are going to do next is insert some bevels to the edges of the cube. Therefore, select the Edge mode and check again the Only Select Visible Elements box. Select this line and this other one. After that, right-click and select the bevel option. In the panel on the right, we can tweak parameters like the offset or subdivisions. For instance, set offset to 30 and subdivision to 5. This way we can check the beveling. Remember that the higher the subdivision is, the more defined the bevel will be. Well, preferably set subdivision to 6, I think. Okay, activate now the polygon mode and select only the polygon at the top. Okay, only this one. Then, right-click, okay, and select Extrude. What we're going to do now is extrude it outside the disk. Okay, we want it outside. Okay, I think it's fine. Now we can modify the points with the point mode. It's a bit too narrow, so I'm going to make it wider. Select all the points and widen it with the scale option. Like that. Okay, you can use a frontal right view to modify it easily. We can even select the points of the bottom corners and scale them down. OK. Once you finish with it, don't forget to save the scene. Well, guys, I leave this video here, and in the next one we'll be cloning this piece, so see you there.